Hi, my name is Kumari Sky, and I'm here to guide you through a tutorial of the Yin Yoga pose, Shoelace. So without any props, Shoelace is just drawing one leg under and bringing the other one on top. It's a really great hip opener, and there's so many variations and so many ways you can modify or prop this pose to get comfortable. It can aggravate sciatica, so in that case, you're going to want to sit up on a blanket to get the hips higher than the knees. If your knees do hurt just sitting like this, you can prop them. You could try lifting this one up. That's kind of high. Maybe using a blanket or a foam block. If the upper knee hurts, you can try supporting it like this. If you just can't get comfortable, another way to do it is just extending one leg forward and doing the pose like this. You lose a little bit of the edge on the bottom side, but really the whole idea is to feel an edge in the thigh and hip of the leg that's on top. So a lot of times people will feel kind of lopsided in this pose. So for instance, say I have my right leg on top, I feel like I'm leaning to the left a lot. So you would shimmy a blanket under the left side and voila, feeling much more comfortable. This one can be bad for the lower back. So if you know you have disc issues or anything, you don't want to round the back, you want to keep your back straight. And also you wouldn't really do this one in pregnancy because you kind of couldn't. But just in case a person could, you will want to do a different hip opener if you're pregnant. So sitting up on the blanket, I think is helpful for everyone. It really helps your pelvis start to come forward, and that's the direction we want to go with this. So if you can't get the knees comfortable in this pose, do a different hip opener, like 90-90. That's a really nice, gentle hip opener. So different ways you can work this pose is just simply sitting here. Some people's legs will be like this, and that's okay, as long as you're still feeling it in the upper legs, thigh, and glute and hip, you're doing it. It might not look like the picture, but you are still doing it. I've seen people also put a block here as well to support that leg. So just feeling around and using the props and figuring out what works for you is really essential in the Yin Yoga practice, especially with a little more challenging poses like this pose, challenging to a lot of people. So you can just stay like this and feel it in your hips, or you can start to come forward. And this really decompresses the spine if you do end up leaning forward. You can even allow your head to come down and maybe even land on a block. But also a really nice thing to do in this pose is some side bending and some twisting, maybe even some upper arm things. So for example, you could do eagle arms, maybe hold it for like 1 minute. And then when you have the other leg on top, do the other side. You can do a little twist And just remember, you're not cranking, you're not trying to go into the deepest twist you can go into in yin yoga. So just holding. But probably one of my favorite things is doing a lateral stretch with this one. So without any props except for what I'm sitting on, I'm just reaching my arm out, and I can bring this arm behind if I want to get some yin yoga for my neck. But I also could bring my arm overhead if I want to get deeper in my side body. You could have your arms straight out like that, or you could use a block on any level to kind of lean into, holding the head. So lots of options here for this pose. Let's see what else. Oh, you can do wrist things while you're in this one. So coming forward, you could do some wrist stretches. You can go this way or this way. The counter pose for this is just coming out and doing some windshield wipers, some hammocks, or even 90-90 can feel good, or if you want to do shoelace and then come do 90-90 as a kind of double whammy hip opener series, you can do that. The meridians affected are the liver, the kidney, the gallbladder. If you lean forward, the urinary bladder is affected. And like I said a few times, you want to feel the edge in whatever leg is on top. You want to feel some sensation here. The hold time with shoelace is anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes. So for instance, you could do shoelace for 1 minute, just sitting, and then maybe add a little side bend 2 ways, 1 minute each, and then you could twist for 1 minute. So there's so many ways you can practice shoelace pose in yin yoga.